So, abortion. I am 50-50 on this topic. I am 50-50 because I feel like it is a woman's personal choice whether she should have an abortion or not, because it is her body and it is her call. Now, there are some factors that make me kind of go one way on the topic, and then there are other things that make me go the other way. So like I said, I'm half and half, I'm kind of in the middle, but I can always see where other people are coming from. I feel that rape is a good enough reason for a woman to want to have an abortion. Not that she has to have the abortion, but it's a good enough reason for her to want to have one. Because the last thing I would want to think about if I was raped is that I'm going to end up having my rapist baby. And that's not something that I would want to happen to me or any other woman in this world, but unfortunately, it does happen. And another thing, this is going to get very disturbing. So if you want to skip forward in this video, you can do that if you feel like it. Incest is something that occurs, to my knowledge, a lot more than people actually think. So if it's this is very disturbing. Let me just put it this way: good enough reason to have an abortion. For these young girls, very, very young girls, you know how babies are having sex and all this other stuff. When I was younger, a couple years ago, I would say if a 13, 14-year-old girl got pregnant, she should have the baby. Because I feel like if you think you're grown enough to lay there and do it, then you are grown enough to have that baby and take care of it. Now I think about it a little bit differently, because I feel that at that age, young girls their bodies aren't ready or mature enough to go through the process of having children. I know that there are a lot of girls out there who have had children at that age and they're perfectly fine, but that's another kind of factor I think about now that as I get older, I'm starting to think things through a little bit more clearly. I remember in my English course that I took last semester, spring semester, yes, I remember that the two main topics that we had in my class were gun control and abortion. And when I say gun control, I'm talking about should we be allowed to carry guns on campus, but that's a different topic. But with the whole abortion thing, I remember my teacher mentioned a woman that he knows, and she had an abortion when she was very, very young, and later on in life, she found out that she couldn't have children. And she regretted that decision because it's like, here she was, even though she was younger, she was pregnant, didn't want the baby, and ended up getting an abortion. And then later on in life, she comes to find out she can't have children anymore. And I heard that from what the teacher said, she just, I don't want to say she completely checked out of life, but she just wasn't doing very well with knowing that she had the perfect chance to have a baby, and then, like she just can't have children now. And I can understand where that comes into play, because it's like, wow, I was so young, kind of reckless, got rid of the one thing that I want now that I'm older, and now that I'm older, I can't even have that. And then another thing with abortion is adoption. A lot of people feel that if you get pregnant, you can go and just have the baby and put up for adoption. I feel that adoption is a good thing, especially if like the lady who I just told you guys who can't have children now, she could go adopt a little child. But some women, I guess, I'm still young, so I'm just going to take a wild guess on this. I guess that sometimes it would feel better to know that you had your own child. However, I always say this. I remember hearing this. Who was it from? It was from Wendy Williams. She had many miscarriages, and she was talking to a lady in the audience who had had miscarriages too. And Wendy Williams, I don't watch her show that much, but she said that something along the lines of, and I can't quote it, she said something along the lines of, a mother isn't defined by what she pushes out of her body. A mother is defined by the love that she gives to a child. In other words, it doesn't have to necessarily be the child that you bear. It could be a child that you adopt. It could be a child that you've taken in from a friend of the family who passed away and you've taken their child. It could be anything. One last thing. I'm probably going to get horrible comments for saying this, but I don't care. Gentlemen, you guys can have your own opinions about abortion. I just don't really care for when a guy... I mean, I'm okay with... I know this sounds horrible. I'm okay with the men who agree with me and they say that, you know, it's a woman's choice if she wants to have an abortion or not. Now, I can understand if your wife comes up to you, you get her pregnant, and all of a sudden she wants an abortion. Now, that's something y'all need to talk about. Or if it's your girlfriend and she wants an abortion, but you want to keep the baby, then yeah, okay. Men, get involved. Get involved then. You can get involved then. I just don't really care for men being overly vocal about it, since it is a woman's body, you know? But all I'm saying is, men, you men out there who want to say things such as women should never get abortions, women should push their children out into this world. Let me tell you something. The day that you can get pregnant and push a baby out of the tip of your penis, whether your penis is itsy bitsy teeny weeny, blubbery, too narrow, lopsided, pretty, ugly. Okay, my main point is that men, you see what I'm getting at? Until the day you are able to bear a child, I can understand. If it's your wife or your girlfriend, then yes, of course, get involved. But I see these men on TV and how powerful and how just they are about this topic. And it kind of makes me wonder, when did you get pregnant? Also, abortion should never be used as a form of birth control because that's just plain stupid. If that is the actual reason, then that's dumb. That's not right. I feel that if you are going to use birth control, there are birth control pills, there are condoms, there are all sorts of other things that you can use as birth control other than, oh, I got pregnant, I'm going to have an abortion because I'm treating it as if it's birth control. For the record, birth control is the prevention of pregnancy from happening, not after you get pregnant. Just throwing that little fact out there for you.